All right, tonight I'm going to run a historical race reenactment. This is going to be the 91 Champion Sparkplug 400 from Michigan. So, quick look at the roster. Rick Mast in the number one. He was in this car for like 6 years, from 91 to 96, I think. Um, yeah, I mean, he never won any races in it, but he was in that car for a long time. All right, Rusty Wallace in the two. Dale Earnhardt in the three, of course. Ernie Irvan in the four. This is Ricky Rudd. This one, I was never a fan of this Tide Ride just because of these like dark spots on the corners of the hood. I guess that was a Tide Ultra or Ultra Tide thing back then. I don't know. I just never really liked that hood, but the Tide Ride is one of the best cars ever. So, Mark Martin in the Folgers car, Alan Kowicki, Rick Wilson, Bill Elliott in the blue Coors Light car, Derek Cope, Jeff Bodine, Hut Strickland, Mike Chase driving for AJ Foyt, Morgan Shepherd, Darrell Waltrip, Chad Little, and Chad Little kind of alternated between the Tyson and the Bullseye Barbecue Sauce sponsorship. I guess it's the same company, so they just flipped them depending on what race they were at. This is Buddy Baker. I'm going to be driving this race as Buddy Baker because Buddy Baker's awesome. Dale Jarrett. So this is the race where Dale Jarrett got his first win and ended up winning it by, according to Racing Reference, 8 inches. Him and Davey Allison were side by side at the checkered flag, and he just barely nosed in front of him. And it was a pretty cool race. Ned Jarrett was calling the race for ESPN, which made it pretty cool for him. And then there were the classic calls of Ned Jarrett calling his Daytona 500 victories in 93 and 96, too. Sterling Marlin, and I think in 2000 as well. I think he also won the 500 in 2000. Sterling Marlin, Dick Trickle, Ken Schrader, Brett Bodine, Davey Allison, Michael Waltrip, Harry Gant, H.B. Bailey. Bobby Hillen was filling in for Kyle Petty for this race. Richard Petty. This was Bobby Labonte's second Cup start ever. He was actually in a Slim Jim Oldsmobile, but I didn't have the Slim Jim in an Oldsmobile. I only had a car that had the Penrose sponsorship as an Oldsmobile, so I just went with the Slim Jim Chevy. This paint scheme is really cool, I think. Just a kind of old school version of the Interstate Batteries paint scheme that became so famous over the next like 30 years. Jimmy Means, Ted Musgrave, Lake Speed, Bobby Hamilton, Dave Marcus, Joe Ruttman, Jim Sauter, Wally Dallenbach, Terry Labonte, and Jimmy Spencer in the Banquet Frozen Food Chevy. All right, so this race is at Michigan. 100% is 200 laps. 40 cars in this race. I'm doing it on 96%. I've been running races at Michigan on 97%, but there's never any cautions here. And so in my fall race in the 92 season, it was on 97%. But with there not being any cautions, I was basically stuck in 25th for the whole race. So I'm kind of testing this to see if 96 might be better. Realistic, full pace lap, yellow flags, double file restarts, and the weather in Michigan was perfect that day. Clear and 72 degrees. All right, I'm going to go right to qualifying. I think I'll qualify about 15th. And this is just the default Michigan track. I kind of took some graphics from a few other tracks to make the walls look a little more retro. But other than that, it's just the same track. And also just the default qualifying and fast setups. I'd prefer to start on the inside, but start on the outside, it's all right. You just got to be careful that they don't take you 3 wide. But even if they do, here it's not too big of a deal. I mean, the track is really wide, so there's plenty of room for it. I'd just rather be on the bottom. And if it does go caution free, it'd probably be best not to lose a whole bunch of spots right on the start.
All right, there's the checkered flag.
13th. Looked like after the first lap I was in second. All right, I'm starting 13th. Musgrave will be behind me. Ruttman will be in front of me. Ruttman, I think he'll be a little slower, so he might hold us up a little bit. Richard Petty is in front to my right. Labonte. No, Labonte's up front to my right. Mark Martin will be on my outside. All right, shouldn't be a problem here. Just watch out for Ruttman being kind of slow. Have to try and get around him as soon as I can. And Dale Jarrett starting way back in 26th. Bobby Labonte starting last. All right. I haven't practiced pit stops here, but I think it'll be fine. I'm ready to race.
Drivers, start your engines!
It'd really work best if I can gauge my speed by following someone down pit road. But we'll see. It says I can go 50 laps. If that's the case, I'd only have to pit 3 times. But I don't remember if I actually went 50 laps. I want to say it was more like 40 to 45. But we'll see how it shakes out. It's the first time I've run this Carset. It's kind of cool seeing the different paint schemes, like Mark Martin in that Folgers car. That Folgers car is awesome. Let's see who else we got up there. Everyone, that Dinner Bell car. Lots of colors going on there. Everyone else looks pretty typical of, or same ride they were in '92. All right, here we go.
Get ready now. Going green.
Just be careful.
Pit cars in.
Long way to go.
Green flag, green flag. Green, green, green.
Mark Martin's going up the middle.
You're on the bottom. 3 wide. Car outside. Still there.
Oh, don't hit the apron.
Clear.
Boy, Mark Martin just flew up through the middle off turn 2. Kind of caught me off guard a little bit. He looks pretty fast.
Outside. Still there. Clear. Car outside. Clear. Inside. Clear. Car inside. Still there. Clear inside.
It's the other thing, trying to be careful not to let people take you 3 wide down the front straightaway. Musgrave was kind of getting under me, and then I think Rudd was trying to get under him, which would have put me on the outside 3 wide.
Car outside. Clear outside. Outside. Still there. Still there. Clear. Car outside. Still there. Clear outside.
I think Gant started on the pole. It's dropping back a little bit.
Inside. Clear. Car inside.
I think Ricky Rudd looks pretty fast.
Still
Oh,
there.
see,
You're up top.
yeah, a little high.
Inside.
went a little high going into turn 3 there, and Joe Ruttman jumped in the middle. All right, looks like there's 5 cars that kind of broke away. I mean, those 5 look like they're a lot faster than me. Looks like I'm about even with these guys in the second half of the top 10. Irvin looked like he wanted to take him 3 wide, but then he backed out. That's not like Irvin in 91. And after this race in 91, it was Bristol. And then Harry Gant won 4 in a row. I think that was, would have been Darlington, Richmond. Darlington, Richmond. I don't remember. What was that third race? The 4th one was Martinsville, which was also an awesome race. probably North Wilkesboro. Darlington, Richmond, North Wilkesboro, and then Martinsville. I think that would have been the 4 that Harry Gant won in a row in September of '91. All right, lap 20. It says I could still go another 36, 35 laps. Okay.
Car outside. Still there. Clear.
Give Gant the bottom if he wants it. All right, looks like the leaders have started catching slow cars. Touch the apron a little bit. Yeah, those front five, looks like they've taken off. Got to be careful around these slow cars. My 94 Busch race, when we started catching slow cars, I got kind of hung up on one, and then Chad Little, one of the faster cars, went under me 3 wide and got myself wrecked out of the race. Well, wrecked out of contention.
Clear.
Was able to recover pretty well, and I think I finished like maybe 16th in that race. Maybe 18th, something like that. All right, so that was Bobby Labonte going a lap down. This is HB Bailey. Morgan Shepherd's getting caught up behind him. Got a great run here.
Clear.
This kind of situation, Marlin's right on my bumper. We got some slow cars here. This is where it just gets kind of dangerous.
Clear. Outside.
Get under Mike Chase.
Clear outside.
It's Jim Sauter.
Car outside. Still there. Clear outside. Car inside. Still there. Still there. Clear. Inside. Still there. Clear. Car outside. Still there. Clear.
Stan Smith in that sweet looking Interstate Batteries car. Check the tires. Tires look great. See, Mark Martin checked up a little bit 1 and 2, and it just gives Morgan Shepherd this huge run.
Inside.
Just trickle in the 24.
3 wide. Inside. Still there. Clear. Car outside. Clear.
This? Oh, Dallenbach.
Car outside. Clear.
Felt kind of pinched against the outside wall there going into 3. Laps projected. I mean, they're saying I could go 57 laps. I don't think anyone's going to go that far. You only really need to go to 50. As long as you go to 50, then you make it on 3 stops. Marlin looked like he was going to get in my left rear coming off turn 2 that last time. Not sure what was up with that.
Clear.
Mark Martin having a little trouble with Jimmy Means. Okay, he's just going to take him 3 wide.
Car outside. Clear outside.
All right, lap 50. I'm thinking people are going to start pitting here any lap.
Car outside. Clear.
This is when I really wish
Low on fuel. If that fuel pressure gauge starts to drop, come on in.
I wish I had practiced a pit stop. Okay, those front 2 are going in. Okay, just Morgan Shepherd did. All right, Morgan Shepherd was going pretty fast until the end of the white line. I don't want to stay out too long and lose a bunch of time to the guys with fresh tires. I imagine at least one of these 3 is going to be pitting this time. Yeah, it looks like Rudd and Marlin. All right, I'm going to go in with Marlin here.
The leader's pitting now. Keep it under 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds.
4,000, did he say? Should have practiced this. All right, I'm looking for the number 20, red number 20. There it is.
Go, go, go! Keep it under 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds. The leader's pitting now. Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
All right, cold tires. Careful on the flat here. Ernie Irvin's coming up behind me, it looks like.
Car outside. Clear outside.
Thought he might be pitting. All right. That wasn't the best pit stop. Wasn't sure about pit road speed limit. Probably should have practiced that. But it's all good here. Alright, so the speed limit was 4,000 in second. I think I was going like 3,000 in second until I got to my pit stall. Alright, I'm in 11th. I think that's about where I was when I went in. I think this is Ernie Irvin and Mark Martin, it looks like, in front of me. Yeah, Mark Martin, Ernie Irvin, Sterling Marlin, so. I don't think I lost too much time or anything. I would like to catch these guys and get some draft off of them. The great thing about this track is the tire wear is really even relative to the player car. Like that first run, I hung in that same group of cars pretty much the whole run. I might have been a tick faster than them at the end, but I wasn't just like flying by them. So, I mean, as far as the AI tire wear and stuff, it's just about perfect, just with the default track. And so the difficulty comes in the opponent strength, the ratings, and the weather. You can just kind of get rid of that tire wear variable. Bobby Labonte again.
Car outside. Clear.
The unfortunate thing about this race is there's no cautions, or this track. I've now run 565 laps in races on this channel at this track, and I've only seen 2 cautions. One was a phantom debris caution, and the other was the one caution with me and Chad Little. In the Busch race. I did also run an IROC race here, so maybe then I'm at like, let's see, 605 laps about here. And there was no caution in that IROC race either. All right, looks like I'm catching Sterling Marlin here. Mike Chase in the AJ Foyt car. Kind of dive bombed him there in turn 3. I don't know that I was quite up alongside of him. they swing out so wide going into one, you can kind of jump up under them, and then they usually give it up about halfway through the turn. But Sterling got the run off turn 2 on the outside that time. I think this is a much better run here.
Clear outside.
Seconds behind the leader. You know, Ernie Irvin got around me as I was coming up to speed on the back straightaway after the pit stop, and he's kind of taken off, so he may be pretty quick. If anyone's fallen out of the race. Yeah, Rick Wilson is out. I thought I had pulled away from Marlin, but he's catching me a little bit.
Clear.
Almost hit the wall. Well, usually if there is a phantom debris caution, it seems like it'll come out around 110 to 120. So do this pit stop here in about 8 laps. And then I guess I'll see if NASCAR is going to throw a caution. Bobby Bonnie again.
Outside. Clear outside.
That's the first time I've seen Dave Marcus today. Okay, the next spot is Bill Elliott, catching up to him. Oh, Marcus is trying to do the crossover on me.
Clear inside.
Bill Elliott must have been in that lead group of 5 at the very beginning. Tires a little yellow. Yeah, it's pushing a little bit, but it's fine. I'll give Bill the bottom if he wants it.
Inside. Clear. Inside. Clear. There are the cross flags. We're halfway home.
Halfway.
starts to
All right,
drop.
looks like
Come
a
on
couple of
in.
these guys might be pitting. No, okay. Staying out.
The leader's pitting now.
All right, Mike Chase went high there to avoid these guys pitting. Slowed him up quite a bit, made me a little nervous. Bill Elliott's trying to pass me. Not gonna happen.
Outside. Clear.
All right, Bill Elliott just pit behind me. I think I should probably pit next time.
We're almost out of fuel. You're going to have to come in for a splash.
Looks like Chad Little in front of me. I'll just follow him in. All right, 4,000, second gear.
The leader's pitting now. Limit 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds.
All right, looking for the red 20. Just past start finish line. Is Mark Martin coming out? Nope. Okay, he's still getting lefts. Oh, a little crooked. It's all right. Uh-oh, am I stuck behind Terry?
Go, go, go! Keep it under 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds.
All right. Got my feet tangled up on the pedals a little
Okay,
bit.
you're clear of pit lane.
There's Bill. All right, cold tires.
Outside. Clear.
All right, Bill's up by 3.43 seconds. I think the majority of that is just him pitting like 2 laps before me and being out there on fresh tires for 2 laps.
Car inside. Clear.
I mean, I feel like I could have been a little more aggressive getting on pit road when I was following Chad Little in. And then not really being sure if Mark Martin was coming out or if he was still getting left sides. He still had to get his left side, so I pulled in around him. It was a little crooked. And then Labonte pulled in front of me. So, man, it all worked out. Where's Marlon? Has everyone picked? Okay, Shepard got back in front of me. I think I was in front of him when I pit. Or was it just Bill? Maybe it was just Bill. And then Marlon's behind me. He's the last car on the lead lap. Well, now the question is NASCAR going to throw a phantom debris caution? And if so, is it going to be before I get lapped by Earnhardt? And it doesn't look like Dale Jarrett's really a factor. I should have bumped up his rating so that he could run up there with Davey Allison and Earnhardt. But whatever. Bill is pulling away from me a little bit, and it looks like Marlon's catching me a little. But that seems about like it was after the first pit stop. Marlin was in front of me, and it took a while for me to catch him. So maybe at the start of the run, they're a little bit quicker, but not by much. And then once I got past Marlin, he basically hung on my bumper the whole rest of the run. So the tire wear seems perfect here. The player car doesn't seem to get some huge advantage at the end of the run like it does at Rockingham or Dover or Richmond or Martinsville especially. I think this is Chad Little ahead of me. Yeah. All right, so maybe I did lose some time because I went on pit road right behind Chad Little, and I'm pretty far behind him now. Should probably be a little more aggressive going in and try not to park all crooked. And I can tell going down the front stretch that time that I was getting a little draft off these guys. The engine just sounds a little higher. Come on, don't make me go 3 wide. There, pinch him up there behind the 49.
Still there. Clear.
someone's blowing up. Might have been Bill Elliott. Yeah, it was Bill. All right, that's a free spot. Sterling's starting to catch up to me again. And it looks like I'm catching Morgan Shepherd just by a little bit. All right, well, it doesn't look like we're going to get a caution. I'm thinking it's going to go caution free. Oh, I'm gaining on Morgan Shepherd by a lot. No, I'm not going to go 3 wide. This is going to let Marlin get right up on my bumper. Oh, this is
You're on the bottom, 3 wide.
a little dangerous here.
Clear outside.
Hate that. Maybe I should have been a little more aggressive going into the turn, but
Car outside.
that's pretty much. Come on, Marlin.
Clear outside. Car outside. Still there. Clear.
Yeah, that was a really dangerous situation. That's pretty much exactly what took me out in that Busch race with Chad Little. Marlin was coming up behind me with a head of steam because I was having to lift a little bit to stay behind Hillen, or I could have tried to go 3 wide on Hillen, but I don't really like going 3 wide. Just seems unnecessary. And then Marlin came running up on my bumper, and I started blocking the bottom because I didn't want him to get under me and put me 3 wide in the middle like Chad Little did in my Busch race. But then he saw me blocking the bottom, and then he just jumps to the middle and forces me into a 3 wide spot on the bottom. See, and in that situation, I mean, I could see that developing like, uh-oh, this is going to be dangerous getting into turn 1. I probably should have just gotten behind, who was it? I think it was Dick Trickle in the 24. I probably should have just gotten behind Dick Trickle, let Marlin go, and then followed Marlin through the lap cars.
Car outside. Still there. Clear.
See, even right here, I don't like Petty being behind me, being stuck behind these 2 cars going side by side. Oh man, I kind of cut Jimmy off there. Sorry, buddy.
Outside. Clear.
mean, at Daytona and Talladega, the AI can get a run on me and I can block them, and it's not too big of a deal. But 90% of the time, when I get spun out by the AI, it's because they have a run on me and I'm trying to stay in front of them. And I end up, you know, being in a rush trying to stay in front of him. I miss the line, or I hit the apron, or do something to put me in a dangerous situation. All right, is that Earnhardt behind me? I think it is. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get the phantom debris caution before I go a lap down. All right, well, I'm sitting here pretty much even with Marlin and Shepard. Shepard in the red car up there. Since it doesn't look like there's going to be a caution, I could pit like right on lap 150. And that might give me like 5 laps on fresher tires to get a big lead on these guys. Though once they pit, then they'll have 5 lap fresher tires, but I don't know. If I pit on 150 and then a caution comes out, well, that'll cost me, but I mean, I've done like 8 green flag pit sequences here, and there's never a caution. So the chances of caution coming out right after I make my pit stop is pretty slim. All right, here comes Earnhardt.
Still there. Here comes the leader. Still there.
Little behind on the here comes the leader call. Leader's already here. All right, someone else just blew up. Looks like solder.
Still there. Still there.
See, now Earnhardt's going to ride my bumper.
Still there. Clear outside. Here comes the leader.
All right, it's 151 now. I'm thinking I should just go ahead and pit. Although I'd like to follow someone on pit road, engage my speed a little bit. All right, next lap. Next lap I'll pit. Elliott or Marlin is in 7th. I'm in 8th. Shepard's in 9th. Okay, someone else just blew up.
Clear inside.
Oh, that was Rick Mast. All right, so I'm fighting for 7th, 8th, and 9th. I think if I pit right now, get fresh tires, come out, get a couple laps in with fresh tires, hopefully I can leapfrog these two guys and then hold them off for the rest of the race. Oh, okay, Shepard's coming in too.
Limit 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds.
All right, the 20, red 20. There it is.
Go, go, go! Limit 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds. You blew the engine. The leader's pitting now.
What? I blew the engine. You know, I was screwing with the shifter and I put it in 3rd on accident. And then it started going in 1st. I hit the clutch in, put it in 2nd, and then it just stopped. All right. Well, I guess that's the race. I don't know what happened there. So I'm going to finish 36th, it looks like. Oh, that sucks. I mean, I was in 2nd. And then as I was getting ready to go, I went in 3rd on accident. And so then I tried to get over to 1st, and then I put it back in 3rd on accident. And then I got it in 1st, and I went, and then it just quit. I didn't over-rev it or anything.
The leader's pitting now.
All right, well, let's see what it says in 2 minutes. But I guess that's it. That's too bad. I mean, that I don't know if that had anything to do with it or if that was just one of those times when the engine just blows up. It's hard to tell. It seemed like I might have screwed it up by shifting up into 3rd on accident, but I wouldn't think that would like blow the engine immediately like that. Not really sure what happened. Well, the unfortunate, I mean, I think the tire wear at this track is perfect. Oh, Terry Labonte almost hit Musgrave on pit road here. But there's just no cautions. There's no cautions at all here. So, I mean, I kind of like putting it on opponent strength 97%. But then if there's no cautions, then I'm just kind of like mired back in 25th the whole race. With this, I was in 96% and I was hanging around 9th and 10th. But then the weather has something to do with it too. Like if it was 97% but it was cloudy, then I would have been in around this position. I'd say 8th through 12th, somewhere in there. But if it's sunny like this, then the car, this is pretty even. But if it gets hot, like 80 something, then the car pushes and the car just gets stuck in 25th. So, and if I put it on 96% and it was cloudy, then I'd be running in the top 5 for sure. Well, that's a bummer. Got through 3/4 of the race and then the engine just quits.
It's over. We can't fix that damage.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, there's a DNF. Let's see here if anything looked weird. I don't think anything did. I mean, except for me accidentally putting it in 3rd. I was just fiddling with the shifter. All right. I look good right here. I'm in 2nd. Stop right on my marks. Looking good. Still in 2nd. Okay, yeah, right there. That's where it started getting all weird. All right. Wait a second here. Okay, yeah, I'm in 2nd. I go up to 3rd, then I go to 1st. And then when I went to 2nd, it just died. That's really weird. I mean, it didn't even like sometimes it'll just lose a gear. Like if I just lost 2nd gear or something, I would have just gone up to 3rd and kept going and then to 4th. But I mean, I don't think accidentally shifting up into 3rd would blow the engine like that. I mean, it's not like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there. All right. Well, here's the thing. I know once I hit accelerated time, it's going to say caution. I know it. It always does. But I don't think much. I mean, if I could watch it, I think it's just going to be caution free till the end. How many laps are left? 37? Yeah, let's see here. All right, who just dropped out? Bodine with a clutch. Oh, and Dale Jarrett's out. Valve. I don't know. I think that was just a random breakdown. All right, let's see here. He's out. Lake Speed's out. Dale Earnhardt's still way in the lead by 30 seconds. 6 to go. Jimmy Spencer out with the camshaft. And the race is over. All right. I'm going to export it. This is 91 Champion Spark Plug 400. Champion Spark Plug 400. All right, well, I finished 35th with a player breakdown. Dale Earnhardt wins at Mark Martin, Ricky Rudd, Ken Schrader. I do want to go back and look at this one scenario on 130 about. You know, and the car didn't act funny on any of the other pit stops, so I don't know why that one, it just blew up like that. That was weird. Okay, yeah, right here. So Bobby Hillen in the 42 covering for Kyle Petty is, and then Dick Trickle is really slow. Bobby Hillen is pretty slow. Sterling Marlin gets a huge run because I'm not even flooring it all the way because I'd rather not jump down and go 3 wide into this turn. Though in hindsight, that might have been a better idea. See, right here, I could see Marlin coming. I should have just gotten behind Dick Trickle right in the high lane and just taken it easy, let Marlin go, and then get in behind him. But I didn't. That's not a good view. I didn't, and actually that was kind of a decent view because then I start looking low trying to block Marlin because I don't want him putting me in the middle. And then we go into the turn. And so then when I'm low, then he jumps to the middle and takes that middle lane and goes right in between us. And now I'm 3 wide on the bottom. It actually looks, I was giving him plenty of room here. Let's see here. See, I'm trying to block him going into turn 1. That's not a good idea. All right, so we gave each other room. It worked out okay. But that is kind of a dangerous maneuver. I mean, right here, I either should have gotten behind Trickle, or if I wanted to be a little more aggressive, I might have been able to pass both of those guys going into turn 1. But I should not have been trying to block Marlin going into turn 1. That was not a smart idea. But I got away with it, so it worked out okay. Let's take a look at that first pit stop. Let's see. Yeah, I went in right behind Marlin. All right, looks like probably this lap. Okay, I'm right behind Marlin, but I was going really slow because I didn't know what the pit road speed limit was. And then I saw Jimmy Means behind me. Thought he was going to run me over there for a second. Okay, that's the one where I got in clean. It was this one. This was the one where I had to pull in around Mark Martin. Okay, Bill Elliott's still behind me. Okay, Bill Elliott pit that lap, and then I come in this lap behind Chad Little. Let's see, looking pretty good. Yeah, then right here, see Mark Martin, that's what makes me nervous when I'm coming down pit road and he's got all 4 tires on the ground. I didn't see, but it looks like he had already gotten his right sides and then they put the jack down. And so right here, I don't know, like, if I pull in there, is he just suddenly going to take off and spin me out on pit road? And so I was still kind of watching him here. And then finally, I saw his left side go up, so then I knew, okay, he's still getting his left side tires. But then I pulled in a little crooked. I mean, it wasn't too bad now that I look at it. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little crooked. But Michigan, I mean, the pit road is so big and stuff, it's not that hard to get out. You know, see those little scuff marks right there? Right about when I was shifting. But the car was fine there. I don't know. All right, I want to see that one more time. Or no, it was like 150 something. Yeah, I had fun racing Earnhardt right here, and Shepard and Marlin. See, everything looks fine. They put the car down. I'm in first. I hit the gas. I go up to second, and it just stops. I don't know. I don't think I did anything wrong there. I think that was just a random player breakdown, which they do happen in this game. It's just incredibly rare. It's very rare that they ever happen. All right, well, I exported it. I finish 35th. Earnhardt wins it. I saved it. Done. Earnhardt wins. Well, that's too bad. It was a fun race though. I like driving that track even though there's no cautions. The real race, yeah. So Dale Jarrett won it, and it says here margin of victory 8 inches. They were side by side right at the checkered flag. It was an awesome race. Dale Earnhardt had problems in this race. He finished way back here. Yeah, 24th. Yeah, Bobby Labonte in his second start, he finished 38th. He only made it 40 laps. His first start was at Dover, and it was basically the same scenario. He just kind of started it, ran a few laps, and then had a problem. They had 4 cautions, 2 accidents, or 1 accident, two debris cautions, which was rare back in those days. There must have actually been some debris on the track. Yeah, so you know, it's funny. Like I became a fan in '96, and back then it was really hard to learn about like old races. The only thing that I had to go on was watching the current races and then hearing the announcers talk about old races. And I would go to the local bookstore, the used bookstore, and buy all these old stock car racing magazines so I could read the articles and see pictures and stuff of cars from years prior. There was no YouTube or internet, so you couldn't just like go on the internet and look at websites like this. So that's how I learned about all these races. And at the end of '97, on Christmas Day, and then on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, '97 to '98, ESPN had this classic NASCAR race marathon where they showed like, I think it was like 8 or 9 races straight on Christmas Day, and then 8 or 9 races straight on New Year's Day. And this was one of the races they showed. And so that was the first opportunity I ever had to watch this race. When this race was ran, I was 9 and probably watching the Phoenix Suns or something. So I'll never forget staying up all night and watching those marathons and being able to see like these really old races and see drivers in these older cars and stuff that I'd only seen pictures of in magazines or heard Ned Jarrett mention it like, oh yeah, that race at Michigan, that was a great race, you know, but never really hearing or being able to see it. So when they had that marathon, I was really pumped and recorded all of those races on VHS tape so I could watch them over and over. This was one of those races, so I always liked this race. It was a great finish. I always liked Dale Jarrett and Davey Allison. Awesome. Um, it was a cool race. I'm glad they re-aired it so I could watch it. Or else I would have had to wait until a few years ago when YouTube started showing all the NASCAR races and NASCAR started uploading them and stuff. All right, well, Oh, by the way, there's Buddy Baker, 13th. That was the car I was driving. All right, if anyone checks out this race, thanks so much. It sucks I DNF'd. That's only the second DNF I have on this channel, but those random player breakdowns, they do happen. I've had a couple in qualifying, but that's the first one I've had in a race like that. Sometimes in practice, I'll have them on like lap 10 or lap 12, and then I'll just restart practice over. But that's the first one where I tried to like run a whole race and then got a DNF that far into it, or had a breakdown that far into it. All right, thanks for watching. That's it for this one.